as a Member of Parliament for the Chegutu West constituency, representing the ZANU-PF party. He has also been appointed to the parliamentary committees for energy portfolio, ICT portfolio, and the youth portfolio, and that youth appeal is why he's actually here. He's very passionate about young people. He has been a keynote speaker. He speaks at global events like the GTEx Dubai Expo. He's also been recognized as one of the 100 most influential young leaders in Africa by the Pan-African Youth Leadership. That was in 2019. He also served as the Zimbabwean representative to the Global Chamber of Business Leaders and the Young Business Leaders Program. In terms of entrepreneurship, he is a serial entrepreneur, and he has founded and leads several ventures. One of them is called Energy Plus, which is an energy consultancy primarily focused on clean, renewable energy, particularly solar and LP gas. Their operations include design, installation, and distribution with a footprint that extends from Zimbabwe to neighboring countries like South Africa and Zambia. He also founded a mining company specializing in commodities like gold, copper, and other precious minerals. That's Pavame Gold Holdings. He also manages a construction company involved in large-scale projects, including the planned construction of 10,000 housing units for middle-income Zimbabweans. And there's quite a lot I could say about him, but I see he's actually feeling uncomfortable about all these things. But Honorable Shacky, please, the young people are waiting to hear from you, so please, I'll invite you to speak to them right now.
We can put our hands together for the MC. No, don't be jealous. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. You know, if you are in university, it's a sign that you are privileged. There are so many young people that long to be where you are. So take that opportunity very seriously and appreciate where we are today. Let's put our hands together one more time. I would definitely firstly want to appreciate my good friend Dr. Sarah for organizing such kind of a beautiful platform, and we are in season 5. Many thanks to you, and we pray that God keeps you and He keeps on blessing you. I was reading your profile recently. You are continuously excelling and being, the upward mobility is very high. I heard she's now a president of that, a president of that. I was like, nah, I'm jealous. And I'm happy to be home. I don't treat Uganda as a foreign country. This is home. Whether you like it or not, it's home. I really appreciate the moment to be here. I was telling Professor Lumumba, and I said, so I was, when did you tell me I should be in Uganda? We were in Kenya when she told me. So I said, I'm coming. So then there was a trip that was then arranged to go to Burkina Faso. So I was told, no, you're supposed to be part of the people that are going to Burkina Faso to be able to go and meet President Traore, Ibrahim Traore. And there are a couple of investments that you can do there. I was like, yeah, I know, but I made a promise somewhere. Your dates are clashing with the dates I had already promised to Dr. Sarah. So I said, I'm not coming. You'll be in Burkina Faso, I'll be in Uganda. So I'm happy to be home, and it's a privilege. The reason why I came is because I wanted to talk to one of you here. I didn't travel to talk to A lot of you, I just came probably for less than 5 people. I'm a very straight talker. Like, straight. All of you here, very bright future, but not many of you are going to make it because you're going to be distracted along the way. You might be sitting on the same table now, but you're not grace mates. The person you're sitting next to might be your boss tomorrow. Sadly enough, respect them today, maybe they will extend their graces when they are in office. Look at that next person sitting to you. That person, money looks good on them. So, I'm saying this from experience. I was born and raised with a single mother. Born in 1992, I'm 33 years old. I made my first million when I was 21 years old. Million not in shillings, in US dollars. I'm saying this not to brag, but to inspire you. Never allow your background to determine your altitude in life. So, to you who's coming from a very hard place, trust me, you are the next best thing that has ever happened to your family. Dr. Sarah, I came not to give a speech. I'm not good with speeches. I came to talk to my brothers and sisters here, gathered here today. You have a mandate to protect the future of the nation of Uganda. It is a sign and an attitude and a character of cowardice not to speak when you're supposed to speak. The reason why nations are failing is not because there's lack of intelligent people, but there's lack of intellectual people who are willing to speak to power. Whether you clap your hands or not, I'll keep on talking. I was telling them when we were eating, I was like, Uganda, you are walking on a path that we have walked before. I'm coming from Zimbabwe, where Robert Mugabe reigned. So we have seen it all. But I was happy when I arrived at the airport and I can see the peace that is in the country. To you Ugandans, you know this is not usually Uganda heading towards elections, and I pray that peace prevails and we don't see what we are seeing in Tanzania. Tanzania, I was there last week, part 1. It's so sad to see how politics is happening and how politics is playing out. You see what I had my debater, my adjudicator was here, was talking about what's happening in Cameroon. He was talking about what's happening in our SADC region. Our current chair, new elected chairman has been removed from power. His citizenship has been revoked. So there are a lot of changes that are happening in Africa. I was listening to you guys debate. You are geniuses. Yeah, you are geniuses. Unfortunately, I'm not part of the judges, so if any results come, I'm not involved. But I like listening to you. You are a good talker. You have charisma. One thing that I'll tell you today is, many a times the picture doesn't know how beautiful it is. It takes us outlookers and people who are not part of the frame to know. You might be coming from the north, but you might be actually the best thing that will ever come from there. This one wants to do a coup, this one. The way they are celebrating in here. You are very good. You are very good. Yeah, you are. Me, I will just pass comments. We are debaters, we don't hide. I say it as it is. If I'm ever going to develop it, I should tell you the truth, isn't it? So you are a very natural person. You are natural. You are natural. You don't put effort. you can realize that the guy is flowing like he doesn't put effort. So keep it. Read more. Yeah, read more. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about money. Talk and money will follow. Okay? Yeah. Then to this one. You know when a person knows that I know what I'm saying? Like, there are people like that, eh? They know I have facts. Even if you want to argue with me, I know the statistics that I'm declaring, so I'm comfortable where I am. And thank you so very much. I liked you. I'll give you one advice. Because of your stature, you need to change the way you dress. Because one thing that is going to affect you is ageism. Ageism is whereby people take you as a young person and they don't listen to you because you are young. So he needs to work on that. We are already dealing with mentorship. So I'll talk to you after this one. I'll show you what to wear and I'll help you how to wear. And then he has an advantage of a body, this one. Even if you look at his sitting posture, he's telling you, I'm a man who doesn't need any introduction. I'm here. So, you're very good, my brother. You know, when you're debating, actually, how many people have watched a movie called The Great Debaters by Denzel Washington? There was actually a boy who used to dress like the way he's dressing. His father was a pastor. Yeah. Even the glass, exactly what I'm saying. So, you made me to remember that movie. So I wouldn't trigger to remember a movie like that if you are not good. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yeah. So keep it up. I don't know how to call you, whether I should call you an iron lady or what. Nah. She moves, eh? No, she moves. No. When are you contesting? No, I'm actually being serious, eh? She's bold. And she's very passionate with what she's saying. She's one person that if you have in parliament, not with the ruling party, this one I wouldn't want her with the ruling party, I would want her with the opposition, this one. She will keep the ruling party on their toes. So you are very articulate, my sister. When I look at you, I can safely say the future of women in politics in Uganda is in safe hands. Keep at it. And one thing that I would say to you that I've never said to them is this. Be very careful who you're going to marry. Never make a mistake of marrying a boy. You know, what is the difference between a boy and a man? A boy is threatened by potential. If you are a boy and you are here, I know you guys, you are here. Leave her alone. You don't marry such and you want to make a housewife. You see, there are people who are just evil. They will marry a person like this one to make them stay at home. They are threatened with their potential. A person like this should not be domesticated. She needs to be married with a man who's not threatened by anything. Who tell her, you know what, baby? Keep flying. I'll putting fuel. So, be very careful. I don't know if you're a Christian or if you're a Muslim. You're a Christian. So be very careful. You see, or if you're a Christian, I'll give you a story. Even if you're a Muslim, I was going to give you another story in the Torah. When Saul realized that there is a young man called David who had potential, he calculated, and the Bible says he ensnared him by giving him a wife. Who could? So don't fall into that trap, eh? Be very careful of snares, eh? Yeah. I'm saying this to you and many other ladies that are here. Yeah. And then where is the other guy who was here? He was wearing a gray suit. No, that's fine. It's okay. I'll talk about him when he comes back. But, you know, how many have read the book, The Prince, by Machiavelli? 1, 2, 3, 4. I advise you to, all of you, go and read that book. That's the book that made Tupac to name himself Machiavelli. I'll give you a brief background why I'm suggesting you should read that book. So this guy was made a minister of foreign affairs. And he interacted with a lot of kings, popes, and emperors, representing the empire of the Florenza. And he got a lot of exposure, and he was a lobbyist. And that exposure made him to be a very outspoken person naturally. He was a philosopher. So when he came back home, there was a coup. And then there was the Medici or Medici family that was now in charge. I don't know if any of you knows about the Medici family. The Medici family, you guys need to study that, you are debaters. Those guys, they made sure their daughters are married to kings and popes. When politics and capital join hands, citizens are on the menu. If you see, and worse if religion joins in and also takes a chair, you won't recover. So what they did was they made sure their daughters are married by popes and by kings. And they controlled the entire Europe and the entire America for more than 500 years. So when he came back home, they knew that this guy is very intelligent. So what they did not extend or renew his appointment as a minister. They then incarcerated him. So when he was in incarceration, he then started writing articles, writing them to the son of the president or the king who had made him a minister. And his writings were compiled and they made up a book that we are now reading. It's actually one of the premises or the foundation of political science in today's age. So you can never debate about having reforms in the Ugandan electoral system if you don't understand that book. Because that book will give you all the power plays that you are seeing today being used by politicians. Is that okay? Yeah. So read that book. And I heard you guys talking about propaganda. You're talking about media. There is a guy called Albert Biner. He's the author of the book called Propaganda. He's the guy who made people to eat bacon, eggs, and breakfast. He was that good with propaganda. And surprisingly, one of his grandchildren is the co-founder of Netflix. Netflix is not a movie site, that's a propaganda machine. They show you the America that they want you to see. And you here in Africa, you show them the Uganda that you don't want them to see. And then they judge you with the lenses of Netflix. There's nothing like Netflix that you see there. They are managing you that even if you think of getting into America with the seed of marijuana, you will repent in the plane and you eat it. I'm telling you the whole truth. If you go to America in New York, there's no place I've ever visited that has got, you know, dent, bubblegums. In New York, you'll be stepping on bubblegums like this everywhere. If you go to Paris, on the Eiffel Tower, there are potholes. Yeah, there are potholes there. What you see and what is there in reality, they are two different things. What I'm trying to show is that Africa, we have failed to say our story out there. They've manipulated us long enough to the point that we see our own evil and our own heroes are victims of our own castigation. Even if you don't clap your hands, I will speak. I was in China. China is classified as a global power, isn't it? Do you know the solutions that Uganda want are not outside of Uganda? The solutions that this country wants should predominantly be orchestrated, brain thought by Ugandans. I mean you. I'm a politician, so I'll speak from a point of pragmatic politics. You guys are philosophers. Dr. Sarah, let me tell you this, my brother. I need you to make money. Tell your neighbor. That guy, that tall guy, they said, I need you to make money. My videographers, you need to make money. You see these people, they are now in their finals. If these guys are broke, there's nothing that will come out of there. One politician will give all of these guys cars, and these guys will go mute. These guys. Now I'm stating facts. What you're doing, this is student politics. You are now about to enter. You are saying, I'm very excited to vote for the first time. You are now about to enter into what we call mainstream politics, where everything is possible and anything can happen without an advert. You see how Africans, we create dictators? Is we have a mass population that is politically uneducated. And you hand over a ballot into the hands of an ignorant voter. That's not a tool of liberalization. That's not a tool of liberty. That's a weapon that is in the arsenal of the tyrant. Even if you don't clap your hands. I once made an argument, we are debaters here. And I say to my friends, we should never allow a person who has got nothing to lose to be a registered voter. That person is a danger to democracy. A person who has something to lose knows how to protect the thing that he will lose if the politics is not right. Hello? And African politicians have become masters of knowing how to make you not own anything so that they can control the way you vote. That's why it's easy for them to come and give you whatever that you're saying that I don't know what that's called you're talking about. They come with something that they will wipe whatever that you're talking about. What's that?
To wipe where you have sat, like after you've sat, your buttocks probably become dirty, so you wipe it with what they have given you.
Can I tell you why we do that as politicians? No, now let's get genuine. When I entered into politics, I had a different picture. I was telling Dr. I had a different picture. I had motions to be moved in parliament. And when I entered into the ring, after finishing, I realized, no, this animal is different than the way I was seeing it from outside. You get into politics with the right mindset of making sure you are policy-oriented, development-oriented. What will surprise you the first time after entering is the voters, what they expect from you. I'll say this so that you can get the picture. I don't normally share figures. My election costed me more than 700,000. US dollars. I had budgeted to say, no, this one I'm going to use it for road construction. This one, water sanity. That was my plan with my team. I had no budget whatsoever for alcohol. Upon starting to plan, in my first political rally, one of the guys I was competing with, we had microphones, chairs and everything. This guy had, that megaphone. He came, I had crowds. He came with a megaphone and he said, I want you to vote for me, all of you that want to drink. I've bought alcohol. There was a bottle so close by. I've bought alcohol and all the alcohol there is for free. with my policies, I saw people standing up, going to queue on a bottle store. That crushed my spirit. You know, that's the day I realized that no. Politics is not what we think. The people I thought they would clap hands for me for putting water, a water plant, to people that don't have water. I saw them making noise and celebrations for this guy with a megaphone. And for me, I ended up winning in that particular award. Eh? For me to win, I said, oh, it's okay, you've bought a bottle, so I'm going to talk to the national breweries. Next time, these ones, I will not even come with a dozer for a road. I will make sure I come with those trucks for breweries. That was never my idea. That idea came from the voters. I looked at them and I was like, so what makes sense to these guys? Is alcohol. Now you're seeing genuine politics now. And guess what? If you give them a t-shirt, not with their face, with your face, and alcohol, they will march into the ballot boxes voting for you happily. And you then expect those people to hold me accountable. At what point? We are laughing like this, but that's the reality of Africa. They will tell you, I would rather vote for him, at least my stomach benefited for him. This road is not going to my house. That's the language they'll tell you. This ball or this whatever that he's talking about is benefiting everyone. At least he has bought me something that I can talk about. I need someone who can buy me something now. So you see how also the electorate has got power to shift the agenda of a leader. I'll talk about Magufuli. Magufuli was, according to me, Magufuli was the best president for the Tanzanian people. He was the best. But guess what? How he died, whatever that they tell you, is not how he died. For him to die, there were people inside that corner. Because the guy said, no, I don't believe in this COVID thing. He didn't believe in it. And guess what? I told you, when you see politicians and capitalists joining hands, the people and the right leader are on the menu. The men were standing on the road of vaccines. And Africa, for your own information, we are the only continent that never produced any vaccine. He didn't because of China. Africa was going to be wiped. And let me say this to provoke your thought. What if the medication that they gave us was poison? All of you have taken Johnson, Sinopharm, whatever that you talk about. You talk Pfizer. Look at each other. They made it mandatory for you to be injected. Does it mean as Africa we don't have sufficient scientists and researchers that can come up with our own cure? We have. Why are we becoming a benevolence case as the global south? Imagine it was President Xi Jinping who said we need to build an African disease control center, and he funded it. Yet Africa has got a ubiquitous amount of, when I was in China, I saw steel that was stemmed Uganda. I saw steel in China that was stemmed Uganda. And I can tell you right now, if I'm to do a research, as far as I know, I will not find any steel manufacturing plant in Uganda, but they've got many mines. Every mineral exported out of Uganda and processed, those are jobs you have exported out of Uganda. And the biggest problem with our politics is that politicians, we are so greedy to the point that we can sacrifice the entire generation for the sake of our own benefit. And if you guys, as the generation that is being sacrificed, if you are not smart, you will be on the menu. Hello? Hello? I love President Museveni for one reason. Let me say this joke. He has a joke that he said, for Kabobi to be able to speak English is because I was the one who made the education available. Please clap hands for the man. At least he's talking what he was able to do. Professor Lumumba will say, no matter how much you are a good dancer, if you stay too much on the stage, people will be disappointed with you. And I pray That shall not be the case of Uganda. I'm saying this from the deepest part of my heart because I remember Robert Mugabe the Great. Robert Mugabe, if he goes to United Nations, all of you, you will know, you will put your... He was like that boy who was there. There was a guy who came with a lot of jargon. You heard him, man? Yeah. The guy will be telling you words like, yeah. Robert Mugabe would go and he would address issues that no one is willing to address. And he overstayed. Once a great man. It's so sad, I'm saying this because it's my own country. It's so sad that the hero's acre that he established himself is not there. The reason why every Zimbabwean speaks English is because of Robert Mugabe. He undid everything that he used to stand for. Even if you keep quiet, I'm telling you the reality of politics. And you know the reason why it was possible? Is because he was very good at one thing. Every person who had potential, he would eliminate. Mawaya, you came here as debaters, isn't it? Is this not a debate? Yeah, this is not provoking, isn't it? Yeah. One thing that I like about Uganda, the fact that you are allowed to do this debate, trust me, I like Uganda. You do this debate and this you busy guy is here. And his camera is there. And you're doing this debate. You guys, you need to travel. No, you need to travel. Dr. Sarah, you're talking about constitutional what? Towards election. No. I like Uganda for this one. I know of a certain country, I will not mention it by name. Every presidential candidate who's on the ballot paper is inside right now. He's locked. Only one presidential candidate is alive, is roaming around. Yeah. And you guys, you are busy here talking about journalism, media is not giving us coverage. No. Listen, no matter what we may say, what is nice, we should just say, this is nice. I'm a politician, I've traveled countries. Trust me, I've seen countries where journalists are arrested. You guys, after this debate, you will be coming there and you'll be put in a van, not van to go anywhere. Police. No, I'm telling you the honest truth. The fact that this is broadcasted live and you're talking about constitution, what parliamentarians and stuff like, You get the point. But make use of this privilege to make the nation right. Why I said you guys need to have money. I'm now rounding up, I'm already concluding. Money is a voice. Money, my good sir, is a voice. Money speaks. Right, cutting across all languages. Money is the highest chain breaker of communication barrier. He who has money is the one that the media will cover the most. Media personnel will not eat political rhetorics at their homes. They will need to put food on the table and they will follow the men with the money. You know, politics doesn't happen where you think politics happens. Rigging doesn't happen in the ballot box like you think. No, that's too late. That's the finishing line. I'm a politician. Remember, I'm a politician. If there was any rigging that happened in Uganda, don't think you will find it now. It's already done. They don't want me to talk the truth, these people. We are talking about how we can be able to change the narrative of politics, isn't it? And I'm telling you to say, I'm appreciating your government for allowing such spaces to be available. And I never heard anyone casing anyone, any politician here. That's one thing that you young people should learn. Don't speak against a man sitting in power and you think that's wisdom. That's stupidity. find a way of addressing issues. Have you ever seen how Dr. Sarah debates? She's not insultative, she's factual. There's a difference between stating facts and being assaulted. If you assault, trust me, anyone in power will show you that I've got the power. Hello? You are the young politicians, you guys. You don't get popular by insulting elders. That's our African culture. Address elders in an assertive way, but in a factual way. To the point that even themselves, I'll tell you a fact. I have a very personal relationship with my president. Very personal. One thing that he knows about me is I don't mince my words, I don't mix my words. I say it as it is. But I make sure I don't say what I want to say in public. Sitting with him and I'll say, you know, you're my father. I don't think, there's a time we didn't have a youth bank in our country to support the young people when they want to start business and stuff. So after I was listed in the Forbes magazine, he called me, he said, how come you are being listed in the Forbes and you're not advising me on youth policy? And I said, if I advise you, would you listen? He said, do you know who you're talking to? I said, yes. He said, who? I said, my father. He said, no, I'm your president. I said, but you're my father. I'm knowing, why am I articulating the father side? Because I want to soften him. He then said, so what do you think I should do? And I said, the problem with the system is this. Our people have lost confidence with the banking sector. And the reason why they've lost confidence with the banking sector is because you are the president. And they feel like the politics is not right. He was angry. And I said, I'm just telling you the truth. We are two here. I could have gone on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, I'm here. And he sat on his chair and he said, yeah, you're right. So what do you think I should do? I said, young people, they've got ideas, but they don't have any bankable asset to back the loan that you are giving them. Why can't you as the president be the champion to say, I'm going to give loans to the youth that are going to be guaranteed by my office? And you appoint a minister who's going to be managing, evaluating, and monitoring so that if they receive a loan, they use it for the cause that they took the loan for. And then after they are done, they give it back to the bank, and then the bank goes to the next one. He listened. Had I gone with the same issue in the public, the Central Intelligence System was going to come after me. I'm now giving you advice and wisdom that will make you achieve your goals without attracting the wrong attention. Hello? Hello? You become popular, and every political system, whether in America, is good at arresting. We want you alive, not dead. Don't kill your political career because you want likes on social media. No, don't do that. That's a political gimmick. If ever we are going to raise proper politicians here, we need to also be cultured in our African context of respect. Third story. You know Baba Raila Odinga? I loved the man. May his soul rest in peace. But many people don't know what made him never to become a president of Kenya. It was a curse pronounced on him by his father. Those that know history, his father lived his entire life fighting against the Uhuru family. And he had a party called Fort Kenya. And one day, Baba Raila was in the youth league of that particular political party. He came to the conference of the party and he wanted to tell his father, it's now time for you to step down. You can go into Google, all of you are debaters. And he came with other hooligans who were also part of the youth league. So they disrupted the conference. And the father, Jaramogi, stood up and he said, Raila, my son, I've lived the rest of my life fighting the Uhurus, and I've never won that battle. If you thought this that you have done today, of trying to unseat me in this conference, works, you shall live your own life and you shall die, but you will never be able to rule this country. The highest you can become is to be a minister, prime minister. If you go and search history, those were words spoken over him by his father. Because he was politically energized. He wanted to take over that particular moment. Never underestimate the blessing of the elders. So, let's do it the right way. Let's agree to misagree with these elders, and then we tell them, you know, there is nothing that is nice as telling your elder in a factual manner, until he smiles himself to say, hey, but this young man is talking sense. You don't want, because you see, every person, there's someone who talks about gatekeeping. Was it you? Anyone who's benefiting from the regime would never want that regime to go. The reason why most people end up staying too much in power is not because they want to stay, it's the people that are behind them that want him to stay so that they can continuously benefit from the hemorrhage of the system. So you might think you're fighting the old men. You're not fighting the old men. You're fighting a person of your age who's benefiting where you're not benefiting. And that person will make sure you go 6 feet down in the grave with a smile. He will donate cement on your graveside and a tombstone. Politics is a very, very dirty game. And one thing that politicians are good at, they muddy the water so that they scare you away. Don't be scared to get into politics, my brothers. Don't. Don't. And my last parting word is this. I need entrepreneurs in this place. The next season, Dr. Sarah, invite me. I don't want to come for the debate. They are done with their debates. I would want you to help me to have a panel here, like think tank. After you debate, I need you to tell me money. And I will bring people and my own money. I would need to fund into your ideas, not these political ones, because these ones will never put food on your table. No, I'm being honest. If you get into politics broke, you become a career politician. The former MP of Kampala, she's trying to contest to become the Lord Mayor. The Minister of Justice's wife also is campaigning to become the mayor of Kampala. Hello, I'm talking local politics, not in a bad way. The problem is, let me give it back home. So in Zimbabwe, if a person becomes a minister, I want to give you perks that are given to ministers. So the moment you are appointed a minister, automatically you are supposed to be given a Land Cruiser VXR L300, LC300 by government. And then you've got 2 cars that come, one for your lead car, the other one for your back vehicle. Oh, it is better here. No, wait. So before you know it, just by being appointed, you already have more than 3-4 vehicles, right? That's going into the taxpayers' money. Other governments, they then give them what they call housing grants, probably in the north of 500,000 and above. And then they now have security at their houses and their gates. You can't touch them. If they are moving in the streets, they've got blue lights. All of you are running like headless chickens. These guys are moving. Right. Show me any company that is paying a person. So if you then look at their salary as politicians, it's very minimalistic. But you haven't started calculating the pecs. That's why you see the most intelligent ones, they will always be in there. They don't go anywhere. It's because when you go to Europe, they are not being given these SUVs that you are giving them in Africa. So you hear, what is the salary of a politician? Probably 1 million. I don't know how the money works here. If the wife is also a politician and the wife is made a minister somewhere, these guys now have 15 cars in one term. I'm being honest, And then some other political parties, they even give you vehicles from the party to run the constituents. That's another 15th vehicle. Before you know it, 1 term or 5 years, the nigger and his family now have got 15 cars at home. And they now have a farm that has got title deeds and everything. If there's any agricultural inputs that are coming from government, they are the first beneficiaries. That's why most of them, they are not business, because they don't know how to do things with economics, because everything is coming at a low cost. So they don't know the means of production. That's what you see most politicians, the day he leaves office, he goes broke. It's because everything was coming at a platter. And the worst mistake that we make as politicians, because we now have security forces, we've got police, we've got guns, we make enemies. That we know that once I'm out of office, these enemies will be powerful than me. So what I will then do to protect myself against my enemies I've made during my political term is to stay in politics. So that I will never at any given point lose my immunity. And guess what? Who gives them that power? You. Because you've been given, what do you call it? I'm saying all these things to open your eyes so that you guys can see. Hello? Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, you are the change that we want. You are the one that Uganda is waiting for. Clap hands for that person. So, Dr. Sarah, the next season, I think it's season 6, we need to have the entrepreneurship. I'm now speaking Shona. Once we are done with these debates, I need to ask you, give me your business proposal. The same way you don't worry, I'm coming. The same way, I told you he's very smart. The same way he was articulating chapter 5, what of constitution, what. You now need to convince me the money side. Because in as much as you are good at debating all these things, as long as you cannot raise money, you are not going anywhere. A vision without money is not going anywhere. It will be hijacked by those that have got money. Listen to me, my brothers and sisters. What is killing you is not that you lack ideas. What is killing you is because around you there's no one willing to give you capital. Don't play with people who don't fuel your intentions. Don't. And the reason why I'm saying all these things, the highest, I move more than 7,000 tons of commodities from Africa to Asia. And I've made it a mandate to say every commodity that I move has to be processed in the particular country of origin that I'm taking it from. I only made one good decision in my life, which is what I'll share with you today. Don't sit where people are discussing other people. Sit where people are discussing where the money is. You tell me there's no money in Uganda, that's a lie. You tell me I don't know anyone in government, that's a lie. I was in Zimbabwe, led by Robert Mugabe for 43 years, and he was not willing to go. And by that time I was never a political person. What made me to make money was I started changing where I was eating. I'll tell you this story. I had $3 in my pocket. So there was one of the most prestigious hotel. I don't know which one is it in Uganda. Huh? Sheraton, right. Serena. So you see what I did? I said, I now need to go and drink tea at these hotels at least once a week. I was born in the ghetto. All I knew was that plastic soccer ball and those guys from that collect garbage who come and then they'll be running and they'll be jumping on the track and they'll be doing. That's all we knew. But I wanted to change my environment. So I started going there, buy a cup of coffee. They will give you a very small teapot like this one. Very, very small. You can't even feel anything. And I would spend 2 hours to finish that small teapot. I needed to know the people who are coming here, what's so special about them? When I was there, I then developed another idea. There's a location in our country that is known as Borodale, where the elite live. So I started going there and looking at the houses. I realized one thing. All of the people that were staying there had 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, 1 mouth. And all that they had, I also had. They had 24 hours in a day. I also had 24 hours in a day. And I started analyzing how do they spend their 24 hours. Some of the reason why we are poor is the schools that we go to, some of us. Where you go to learn will determine your altitude in life. If you learn to schools that like mine that I learned, whereby if you learn, even the meaning of the school is not even visible. Have you ever seen schools like that? I wish if I knew anyone in Uganda. Where if you hear the name of the school, to look for it in the dictionary, it's not there. It doesn't have a meaning. All you do from there, all your classmates say that this one is now a drunkard, this one no longer has teeth, this one no longer has anything. Those are the people that you learn with. This one is now a prostitute. If she's popular for taking other people's husbands. That's where we are coming from. It takes you an extra effort to leave that circle of friends. And you guys, unfortunately, you're almost at that point whereby you're now living, you're in university. This is where life is being defined. Henceforth, you are now focusing on particular courses. Wherever you were coming, you were doing 50 subjects without focus. It's now only here you're now focusing. I'm an accountant, I'm a publicist, I'm an HR person, I'm a lawyer. That's where specializing is starting. Find good friends who advise you what to do. Don't be someone who goes to school, to university with good health and you come back with a degree and HIV. One sad thing about Africa, we are burying very young people. Look at your neighbor. Tell them there's no rush. These things that you are rushing for, you will be married. Wait. Doctor said, allow me to say this and then I'll close. These things you boys that you are rushing for, you will be married. Every day, at least a minimum of 8 hours, you'll be sleeping with your wife next to you. Don't destroy your future. You are going to enjoy for the rest of your life. For your own information, listen, for your own information, the girls that you think are beautiful today, they are caught in your pocket. At universities, the most beautiful are taken by the highest bidder. I've been to university. Right now, your girlfriend is loving you because I'm not there. If I come there, you're in trouble. Isn't that a fact? Number one, I'll offer the iPhone 17 that you can't afford. I'll offer a school bursary that you can't afford. I'll offer an accommodation off campus that you can't afford. I'll definitely buy a very nice miniature C-Class Mercedes-Benz that you can't afford. I'll buy a Starlink. My guy, you can't compete. What you can do, at least focus on school so that tomorrow you can afford. Most of you guys, you are wasting your time on things that you should never waste your time on. Trust me, I was once there. There is no man who's not handsome. It's your pocket. Trust me. You know, stand up you, come here. You see this boy? I feel sorry for him. Because I know you see his trousers, eh? You see his trousers, eh? Don't think he wanted to be like this. If you see mine like this, you don't find it in a shop. If he wants to get a trousers that get there, no, don't worry, you can laugh to him today, but he has found me, so relax. His problems have gone through them. Finding clothes for a tall person is a tall order. So what you do, he's our colleague. What you do is you do this. If you want to have a longer trousers, you're now going to size 38. Him in size 38, he fits in one leg. Size 38, that's the trousers that he has got his length. So number one, he has a problem. Shoes, it's a problem. Even if he's to get a car, it's a problem. Even if he's to ride a bicycle, his knee will be bumping on that, what you call it? That handle, that thing. So tall people should never be broke at any point. Yeah. But you see now, I'm wearing a very nice suit. This suit costs more than the normal suit. But I worked hard to afford that. And let me close by saying this. Dr. Sarah, I used to have a problem, which I need to deliver you before you get to that problem. What pushed me into politics was not because I genuinely wanted politics. I was coming from a place where I had established companies. 3/4 of that particular society was working in my companies. So everything that would go wrong politically,
it will have a ripple effect to my companies. So I then realized these politicians are coming to my company and they ask for donations to give these people. And these people, yet I'm the one who's spending more time with these people. Some of them are working in my mine, some of them are working in my supermarket, some of them are working in my schools. And I'm like, but why should I give this politician? Because one politician disappointed me. He came to me, said, I want to do a project for chickens. I need 100,000 chickens. I said, that's fine, it's okay, honorable. We're going to make sure. I made all the arrangements, gave him the chickens. Guess what? Only 10,000 go to the people. I got to know about that. I contested him and I beat him fair, free and square. That one. Right. I'm saying this to say what? So I would feel so bad to buy something expensive. Because I'll start by saying, but you know this suit, this amount I would feed how many families? One day I was with my mentor. I also have mentors. So he looked at me and said, what is it that you're wearing you? I said, it's a suit. And it was, you know those suits, the one that you'll be looking like, yeah, those 6 buttons, eh? So it was size 38 trousers and size 56 jacket. So it was big like this. The shoulders were here. Yeah. And I was feeling like I'm dressed properly. He said, this is an oversize. This is not your size. We need to find you a proper what? Proper size. I said, what's the proper size? That was the first time I went to be measured. I realized my legs are different. The other one is a bit taller. The other one is short. Everyone, you're like that. Your feet are not the same. If you go and just buy shoes for the sake of just buying shoes, I need God to give you grace. So we went there. I'm standing there. They are measuring my what, torso, shoulder. And then he said, no, the first 5 I'm going to buy you. He bought me. The first challenge I had was, you know when you're putting a belt. So I would put the buckles back. I don't know if there are people who know the trick. You push the belt here, and then it is like a bulge here. And then it's like a bulge here because you cannot afford to adjust it. So it will be like you've got pockets. Your pockets are full of things here. And then you make sure the front is okay. So that was my first time to wear a trousers that was a perfect fit. And I liked it. I was like, nah, this is it. But I couldn't afford to go and buy on my own. I went and I worked hard. He told me and he said, how many people are you feeding? I said, these people, I'm paying school fees for this amount. And he said, so why do you feel bad after you've done all that to at least bless yourself with a good suit? Ever since that day, I don't dress apologetically. No. So everyone who's here, I need you to go and make money. And when you make money, let your suit speak. Hello? I was telling Professor Lumumba the other day. I said, Professor, you are my mentor. He said, yes. I said, there's one wrong message about Pan-Africanism message. He said, what is it? I said, we are preaching Pan-Africanism that is broke. He said, what do you mean? And I said, I don't have any Pan-African I emulate. They give us this orientation of a life of struggling. In life of trouble. And how do I like that Pan-Africanism? And I went into history and I did a study. Marcus Garvey had an airline. Marcus Garvey had a cargo ship. The Marcus Garvey that you talk about, all of you. Hey, Marcus Garvey was the father of... He had an airline. Marcus Garvey had a media house. Marcus Garvey had a newspaper house. All these things that you're complaining about, Marcus Garvey had that. If you are ever going to be politically powerful and you don't have your own source and means of publication, you're not going anywhere. The reason why Trump won elections is because they had made a plan with Elon. They bought Twitter and they knew Twitter would control the narrative of American politics. And who are you to try to win elections and you don't have anything? Hello? Don't be poor Pan-Africans, eh? Don't be poor Pan-Africans. Martin Luther King was rich. Malcolm X was rich. All these people that you're talking about, they were rich. Hello? General Obote was removed out of power when he was in Singapore there because one guy here, by the name Dada, had made money. Hello? 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 Do you know that the person who bankrolled President Museveni for him to be able to become the president of this country was the brother to Julius Ngalim Nyerere? You know why he was able to do that? Because the brother of Nyerere was rich. Julius Nyerere was a person who was known for Ujamaa, but yet the brother was making money. The brother was a banker. I'm giving you pragmatic politics. I was laughing to someone, he said, no, you know Julius Nyerere was a very, I said, my guy, there is politics and then there's the reality. I said, look at the watch that he was wearing, it was a Cartier, and I said, check the price of that Cartier watch. So in life, in conclusion, you need an accountant, you need a doctor, you need a lawyer, you need a hairdresser, you need a banker. Hello? 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 You need a what? A lawyer, an accountant, a doctor, a hairdresser, and a banker. You know why you need those? When the next session, season 6, will be telling you, your banker should be Swiss. Your accountant should be Jewish. Your lawyer should be Indian. Because the Indians, they know how to scheme the system. I'm being honest. These things I'm telling you, write them in your notes and you say, one day I shall be powerful. One day I shall be a millionaire. One day I shall be read in newspapers. One day they shall watch me on TV. And surely those things are going to happen. So you said you have a business proposal. Okay, go hold your microphone. What's your business proposal?
Basically, I noticed that in Uganda we have a sick care kind of system within boarding schools.
I'm giving you 3 minutes to pitch.
Okay. In Uganda we have a sick care system in boarding schools where they only offer, treatment after you're fallen sick. But then also school have a first aid care system where they only offer you elementary treatment. Then they refer you to get medication from out.
Take it easy.
Yes.
Don't rush.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Then they refer you to get treatment from out.
Take it easy. I said I'm giving you 3 minutes. Pitch your idea. If it makes banking, if it's bankable, I'll fund the idea. So we have a timer, right? Yeah, give me a time. 3 minutes, you have to convince me that my money is safe with you.
Please
Exactly.
don't start yet. Okay. 3, 2, 1. So in Uganda,
Guys, listen.
in Uganda, schools have a sick care kind of system where they only offer treatment or medical attention to a child upon falling sick, and they have a first aid care system where they only offer, basic treatment, and most of the time they refer students to get treatment from out. This then leads to gross health-related absenteeism within schools that affect student performances within schools. So to solve this, I founded a company, Accentuate Health Technologies, and then Accentuate Health Technologies Limited, and the product that we have launched right now is SommaCare. So with SommaCare, we provide comprehensive medical checkups at the start of the term so that a child settles in an healthy manner. But outside that, we provide a health management software. This one acts as a database, allowing us to curate personalized preventive measures and then send reviews to the child's parent, the school, and the child so that we prevent the child from having recurring cases of sicknesses. But then also, we are able to connect a child.
So which one is your business here?
Okay.
You are telling me about the software. You are
Yes.
telling me about lack of medication in schools.
That
So
was
those are
basically
two-
the problem.
Wait, those are 2 businesses already. We need to focus on one. Which
Yes.
one is your business? Where is the
The
money?
software is the biggest product that we have.
So let's talk about the software.
Okay, the software acts as a database, but then also it allows for a child within a school to actually be connected to a doctor outside school via telemedicine. And as a parent, it allows you to have a certain level of control, because currently, as a parent, you have to wait for a school to actually call you when your child has fallen sick. So we offer parents value by sending them information or
I'm
real-time
coming back to
updates.
this question. Where is the money?
The money. Okay, here's the thing. We have packages that we curate depending on the level of learning
Yes, I need
institutions.
to hear that part.
Exactly. So for primary school package, we charge 45,000 per child per term. But here's the catch. Most schools on average in Uganda have 1,000 children. that necessarily means that in Uganda shillings would probably be earning like 45 million from one particular school, but you only invest, from my calculation, you only invest 14,000 to actually provide the software and also the comprehensive checkup that I've talked about. That necessarily means that plus probably other, capital assets, you're going to end up, making a profit of 20,000 per child per
So
term.
you're saying to say for one school you need 14,000.
40,000 per child.
I
Per
said,
term.
you said one school is at about 1,000 people, and you said for us to install there you need about how much?
About how much for one school?
Yes,
You need about 40 million.
40 million.
Yes.
That's about 10,000 US dollars.
About 10,000 US dollars for one school.
Who's maintaining the software?
Who's maintaining the software? I have a what's it called? A tech team that I've built. My friends at campus anyway that we have built the software together. I'm just the ideation and the idea person. We are 5 right now.
You're fine.
Yes.
Is the software patented?
No, not patented.
Why?
That basically I tried to work with a lawyer to patent it, and he tried to make money out of me, and I just gave up on the whole
No,
patenting thing.
don't tell me about money. I'll deal with that. I said, is the idea patented?
No, not the idea. We have
So
done.
how do we protect it from now onwards going forward?
I have actually talked to a URSB person, and they said it can be patented because it's something that, okay, it's a general service, but the methodology that we have is different from what exists on the market. I've done like that
And
kind
how
of
much
research.
do you make in a good month?
In a good month, the problem that I have right now is that I lack the circular nature of making money, because we only charge termly. But I've already tried to
Wait,
come.
You are what?
We only charge parents termly. Like at the start of a school term, they pay us, and then we have to wait for the next term, so that they pay us again.
Even us, we have 3. But why is he shooting himself in the foot? Because he's telling me parents are not supposed to pay. I'm not here as a
No,
parent. I'm
parents
here.
pay. It's just once a term, not every month.
No. I'm saying,
Yes.
I'm coming in as a venture capitalist to your business idea. So you don't tell me about the problem of the parents, because the moment you do that, you are discouraging me to invest because of the ultimate payment that you're expecting. Whereas if I'm coming to you as a capital venture, I'm looking at probably 6 months funding before you start receiving profit. I'm already showing you the problem of financial literacy. You are now shortcutting my optimism into your own idea. Your problems are not my problems. Your elephant is an end to me. So don't project your problems to a person who can assist you. I don't know if you see. So how many people are... You say the company is registered?
Yes, the company is registered.
Who's the company owner?
I own 95% of the shares, but since I didn't have funds on my own, I wanted love money from my parents, so I cut them a share, the 10%.
No, clap hands for him. So, final question. I pray you get this right. Final question. How much money do you want?
Before I answer the question, okay.
No,
Okay.
I didn't ask them, I asked you.
Yes.
They are not going to be my business partners, you will be my business partner. So I don't want a business partner who goes with what the room is saying. I need a business partner who does what is right for the business.
100K for Uganda to expand nationally.
100K Uganda, that's how much in US dollars?
No, in US dollars to expand nationally.
Okay, $100,000. Okay. How much equity are you willing to give me?
20%.
And you retain how much?
Right?
So from 95, we remove...
I maintain 70. Yes.
So you maintain 75.
Mhm.
I come in 100,000. I take 25.
Yes. I mean,
Think again.
here's the thing. I did a valuation of the company, pre-money valuation, the venture capital method.
Now I want you to get this part we are now discussing. This is where most Africans will get it wrong. Hello? I'm doing this with him, but it's a lesson for all of you. Right, you were saying something.
Okay, so I did a pre-money valuation of ideas using the venture capital method. Before, like the pre-money valuation was basically at $1 million US dollars, right? So if I'm doing, okay, if I am probably selling part of the idea right now for funds to start it off, I would only want to lose 20% because I need voting rights and I need to have say into how the company actually functions the long term. And the only way I can have control over that is by selling 10 to 20%, and that's why I'm willing to go for 20% at most. And since you're also probably going to come in as a first investor, it's why I'm willing.
Right, so I'm coming back to say, you said you put $100,000,
Yes.
and then I get how many percent?
20.
20%.
Yes.
What if we say, I put the $100,000, and then I get 40%?
If you put 100,000 US dollars right now, remember I gave part of whatever, I gave part of the company to my parents, right?
We have got the 5% that is not here.
Exactly, 45%. That necessarily means I have limited voting power. You almost at the same, you get to say, dictate the way of the company almost at the same level as me, and I don't want that, especially at the start for now. And eventually we are going to need to, expand and scale.
I genuinely want you to get this right.
I want to get this right. Okay,
Bill
eventually.
Gates owns 1% of Microsoft.
What?
Bill Gates owns 1% of Microsoft.
Bill Gates only lost the 99% after a certain time. He didn't lose it at the start. Okay, here's the thing. I know eventually I'm going to lose and be in position to have only like 5%.
Listen, my brother, you are not Bill Gates. I'm helping you guys to see. Don't listen to these people. I'm talking to you. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Wait. Dr. Sarah, after this one, allow me to sit with him. If you want, bring your parents, let them be part of the discussion, and then we discuss. Is that okay?
That's fine with
That's
me.
fine. Africans, we have one big problem. It's better to be a tail of an elephant than a head of an ant. Right now, if I'm to sit with Aliko Dangote, I'm tapping into his extensive influence, extensive, ubiquitous amount of capital. That determines his equity in the company. I'm bigger by being known as a partner to Dangote than owning 90% of my company. You know what? I liked it from the very moment I said there. I want you to get this right. Even if I'm to come to Uganda, I'll be more politically connected than you to grow that thing. I'll open doors you will never be open in Uganda for that same idea. So I just pray you get it right. That, like I said, I'm giving you time. She can even be your advisor, this one. I don't know how much equity you also give her. But guys, I love you so very much. Next time I come back, we need to do this more. Yeah, we need to do this more. There's someone. Oh yes, you're back. All right. You're the last one I'm addressing. Are you a lawyer? You're a law student. Yeah, I could hear this is a law student. Ah. Are you politically active? Very much active? When are you finishing? Next year you are finishing. All right, that's fine. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. Maybe just one last round. Anyone with a question before I sit down? Anyone with a question? Yes, my sister. Let's put our hands together for my sister.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
First of all, I want to appreciate whatever you've told us. Most of us have come from the family backgrounds you've talked about, and we really don't feel ourselves. At times you reach in schools, or maybe your parents have pushed you to go and study with those people who have come from good families, and you get discouraged by the people surrounding you. They don't want to associate with you. So when you reach out there, and maybe you have ideas you're working on, and you're trying to go into spaces. Okay, I'll give an example. We appreciate CCG. It funds us to come here. They give us transport.
Let's put our hands together for her.
But yeah, you have the ideas, you can speak, but there are rooms you're not going to enter because you do not have the funds. And most of the challenges we face is when you reach people and you're trying to explain to them that actually I cannot come because I don't have the funds, they try to misquote us, and they're like, you know, these are the youth, they just want money. So what did you do as you, from that background, to reach out there and be where you are right now? That's the only question.
Let's put our hands together for her. No, wait there. So if I hear her correctly, she's saying, yes. Okay, please go. He needs to support you. Yes. So if I heard it, okay, continue.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Chisambira. I'm a medical doctor and I'm a policy analyst, public policy analyst.
Doctor?
Yes.
I need you.
And I'm an entrepreneur also.
I need you to be part of the discussion I'll have with this young boy.
Okay, please.
Because you're a doctor.
All right.
Medical, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question.
Already I'm looking for expertise. He's busy calculating.
I like that. Okay, so
Yes, doc.
I'm lucky that we were born in the same year, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Oh, you were born in 1992?
Yeah, I was born in 1992,
Which year?
November 11.
Which month?
November 11.
Ah, so you're a young boy.
Yeah.
Older.
Yeah, so I run a private clinic in Kampala, and I'm also a farmer. But you mentioned something very important, which is, I think, more important for the young people in this room.
Yeah.
You made your first million at 1 million US dollars
At 21.
at 21 years old. So the question that confuses me and most of us here is
how?
The route. How? Was it a lotto? Did you just win a grant? Was it a game that you played? Did you bet? So
Right.
usually, I mean, this.
No, clap hands for him. man.
Yeah, because the issue
Clap hands
is,
for him.
the issue is, we always do not talk about the journey that gets us there, and that's where we get lost on the way. Thank you.
Right. Is it supporting the same question? It's a different one. So, should I answer one or I'll answer them in bunch? This one. So, number one, you ask the issue to say you're coming from a background like mine. Underprivileged background, but your parents are trying to do everything possible to make sure you get your education. And then you can't afford to go to certain gatherings because you can't afford. But you know, if you go to those gatherings, you get access and you get to see and you get to meet people. That's what you're saying. Right. And then doctor came and then he said, we need to, if you can just give us a glimpse of how you got to that point. So I'll try to answer the same question, but in a way that also benefits everyone. One thing that I've learned about God, He who gives up shyness in acquiring knowledge has mastered the wisdom of life. When you get to a place where knowledge is being shared and you are not ashamed to declare your ignorance to the people that are knowledgeable to teach you, that's the first step of wisdom. Never be shy to acquire knowledge that you did not know yesterday. And always know anyone who has got something that you don't have knows something that you don't know. Whether you like them or not, even if they rob the bank, they know how to rob a bank and come out with $1 million. You don't. Second thing, when you get the privilege of being in a space and you know that this person is my destiny helper, that person is my destiny helper, don't be shy to approach that person with boldness and confidence and respect and tell them, Ma'am, Dr. Stella, I admire you so much. I watch your videos almost every week. And I will not even hide it from your face. I genuinely want to learn from you. I will not trouble you even if you don't respond to my messages. Just the fact that I've got your number in my phone is enough and it's sufficient. Every great person needs to hear that. Even if you are to meet President Museveni today, he will give you his personal number. No. Right now, where you are, you see where you are, we might have never met. But because she invited me, you had the privilege of asking me a question. If I have anything that you long for and you've been praying for, never allow yourself to leave this room before you let it known to her and to me that there is something I've been able to achieve that you also want to achieve. Every mentor was given a heart to identify his or her mentees. And a mentor who's been blessed by God and who's successful, who's been blessed by Allah, will never abandon you because you are coming from a poor family. Never. That will actually be more desirable for them because you become a story that they will appreciate tomorrow. So, I met this girl. She was broke more than the 10 commandments were broken. Now she's okay. Do you hear that part? Right. So be able to identify opportunities in a room and make use of them. Hope you are hearing me and hope you will do the same. Then, Doc, my first business was selling Christmas trees. I realized that people want to celebrate Christmas even though they don't understand the story behind Christmas. And I went in our country, there's a region called the Manicaland. It's the Eastern Highlands, it's like Uganda. So they have pine trees. And there was a family, white family that was there that started planting those pine trees that are then used as Christmas trees. So I went there with my uncle. I realized that the trees that we always see in cartoons and everywhere, they look like these ones. So I then went to the guy who was left at the farm with these white guys who had left for England. And I said, can you sell me these trees? The small ones. He said yes, because he was just left to care. And then he agreed. I asked my uncle and I said, can you borrow me your truck? He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to buy Christmas trees. He said, if you want to carry these trees, that's okay, that's fine. We bought 100 trees. Went with them to a cosmopolitan town. And we went on, like, a market square where they, like, those, like in Kampala, I think you have them. Those parks where you can see some people that are tired from work, they just go and sleep in the grass and stuff like that. We went there. There was no requirement of a license or anything, and we just placed those trees there with my uncle. And we sold all of them in 2 days. They were gone. It was in December. That was the first time I realized that money is nice. And then because I had a single mother, one unfortunate thing was I could see the struggles of my mother to make me go to school. That made me to become a sportsman because I wanted to get a bursary. Because I knew my mother could not afford. So when I started playing soccer, basketball, I was playing everything that can make me just be nice. I then got a scholarship to go to a very good school because I was playing basketball. When I went there, in our entire team, all the people that I was learning with, they were coming from affluent families, but they were not taller like me. So I had an advantage to make sure in basketball, I would make sure they know I'm better than them. And I then offered them extra lessons to practice basketball after school. And then I became a friend of them, and they started inviting me to their houses over the weekends. It was one of my friend's father who was a miner, who then took me to his mine. And he started teaching us about the process of how gold is extracted, what happens. And I loved the idea of yellow machines. And in our country, I don't know in Uganda, in our country, I think Zimbabwe is one of the cheapest countries to have a mining license. you need less than 2 million shillings for you to have a mining right. So what I did was, he gave me access to his personnel. This one is called a geologist. This one is called a mining engineer. They are the ones who design the shafts and stuff. And then he said, if you ever want to pick a mine, geologists are the ones that are supposed to help you. So he gave me the contact of the geologist. And I kept the geologist on his toes, asking him, so which areas are good? And the geologist wanted to impress his boss by giving me help. They identified the claim, and he said, you can go and peg this one. Went, and then I pegged that one, but I didn't have money to mine that particular claim. So what I then did was, after pegging it, I now had the mining license, but I don't have capital to start mining. And then one guy from there then introduced me to artisanal mining. You know, these small guys. They wanted things that I could afford, which was a pick, a rope, and explosives. You know those explosives? I don't know you guys if you know those explosives. And a pan dish. I went and I bought those things. I think where my blessing was, they helped me identify a mining asset that had value. So the first time we went for milling, we went there and we did 7 grams. It was lesser than the money that I had put in there. Went back again, 7 grams. Went back again, 7 grams. And I was now losing heart. I went and I borrowed. After borrowing, I was like, this is my final bus stop. If this thing does not work, I'm leaving it. So what happened was, they went to the mill, they did about 15 tons of ore. I don't know if you people understand mining. So they did 15 tons of ore, and then they called me when they were at the milling site, because we went to someone's milling site because we didn't have a milling capacity. So you would mill your place, they bring you a tractor. No, they bring you a small tractor, then you carry your ores, and then you go to someone's milling site. The miller will benefit from the sands. So you will mill, and then you walk away with the free gold. And then the miller will then further process the sands. So they went there. So when I saw their calls on my phone, that was now when I was 21. I was like, these guys, they need me. They failed to pay the milling expenses. So what they want is for me to pick up the call. I'm not going to pick this call. So I switched off my phone. One day, I'm not picking my call. They are looking for me. Day number 2, when I switched on my phone, the first call that was getting in was their call. I was like, let me just pick up this call and then here. They said, boss, come here. And I was like, what's there? And they said, you should just come here. And then I said, that's fine, it's okay. Ask my other friend who had a very small, wonderful, you know those Vitz, small cars like Vitz. We went there and then we arrived. How many of you know mercury? So when you're mining and when you're panning, mercury is the one that extracts gold. So if you put mercury in a pan dish and you're panning like this, and you see mercury just going in rounds and running, it means there's nothing in there. So you buy, if you're artisanal miners, you buy it in spoons. A teaspoon, it costs you this much. Teaspoon costs you this much. So we bought 1 teaspoon because we are used. We are 7 grams guys here. So we bought 1 teaspoon. They put it in the pan dish. And then they are trying to pan. All of a sudden, it went intact. We bought another teaspoon. We added another teaspoon. It went. Then the owner of the milling site, I think he figured. And then he said, no, you guys can have. He gave us a bottle like this one. 500 mils of mercury. He gave us that one. Then he said, you guys, please can you carry. Because you'll be now having like a small. After milling, you'll be having like a 50, 60 kgs of concentrates. So he put us in this place where even his guards were standing there. And I'm like, hey, I think we have stolen something here. I think something has happened wrong. That was my first time to see 7 kgs of gold. 7 kgs. Wait, you haven't heard the story. After we did the milling, so in Zimbabwe, if you are a miller and you have got a mining certificate, you are allowed to go straight to the government buying entity. You show them your certificate and then they buy directly from you. But also the government has got other private players who can come and contest, buy from you what they call the black market rate, and then they go and pay royalties to the government, and then they go to outside. So this guy now then says, so you guys are going to sell to the government or you are going to go to the black market. I say, I've never sold anywhere. He said, no, I know a guy who can be able to come and what? Pay you here. The guy was cold. He said, no, I've got 7 kgs here. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, where are the people? He said, they are here. He said, please bring them. So we went to the capital. When there, he thought he is dealing with the seasoned people. Me and my guys were wearing, those work suits that are dirty. We are okay. We arrived there. He literally saw that these people, they've got no clue of the money that they've just made. So he said, no, you guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a brand new car to drive so that you can arrive home safely. And you deduct the money of the car from your... So this guy wants to give us this car. And we still have money. I think this guy wants us to be arrested. There's no way this guy what he's saying is the truth. Then I said, no, we don't want your car. We just need our what? Our money. So in Zimbabwe, when people are buying gold, they are paid in cash. That's why you see there's no advert. You see people advertising gold. That's the only product under the sun you will never see an advert. Anyone who's buying in gold, they pay cash like cash. He brought in duffel bags. And I saw the duffel bags. And that's when I realized, no, we need a car. We genuinely need a car. So he then gave us, none of us had a license with my team. So he gave us a driver, and then we took the money. So I had an agreement with my guys to say, so if we get something, I'll give you 30%, and then I'll remain with 70%. Gave them their 30%, then I was remained with the amount of money that I was telling you about. I finished it. I lost all that money in 3 weeks. Guess what I bought? No, there was no house there. I don't know what happens with the first money. I've asked all my friends, it's the same. That's the time Lamborghini brought that Urus. You know that Urus, that SUV, that's the first year that they brought it out in 2019. I don't know what got into me. One guy brought it, and I saw it, I was like, no. This one, everyone in the streets will know. Shacky is around, he's in town. So, what made me to think that was where we got the money? It's there. So if we go back, we are going to come back with the same results. So I bought the car, and after buying the car, paid for the car. When I was with this guy, he introduced me to watches. He told me, have you ever seen a Rolex? I was like, I only see them on TV. He said, let me show you a Rolex. He convinced me to buy the Rolex. When I left there, I didn't know that you need to insure. Watches you insure. Cars like these ones you insure. Imagine this is a person who ended up getting a license because we've been given a car before we can drive. So I'm an amateur driver. Now I'm sitting in a car that does 780 horsepower. Just imagine the disaster. And what saved me from an accident, the very same time I was now alone, he had gone. I almost rode with it. Because the power is too much. So if you step on a Lamborghini, it pushes you into the seat. Like you can feel that, no, now we are taking off. So I then said to one of my men who was my pastor, I said, I will show him that God's blessing is praying for me, it's working. So I got to his house. And I thought he was going to be happy with the car. His first statement was, why are you bringing fire on my doorstep? What do you mean? He said, where did you get this car? I said, I bought it. You prayed for me, and I bought it. God has blessed me. He said, do you want to be investigated? I said, that was new to me. Investigate for what? I know I got the money from the mine, and now I have a car. You prayed for it, and it worked. He sat me down. He told me, when you are flying, don't fly too high. Fly very low. I couldn't sell that car. No one was willing to buy. For me to sell the car, I now needed to take it back to South Africa. In Zimbabwe, So it was already paid for duty. I don't know if Uganda you pay for duty if you buy a car. So for you to then take that car outside of the country when it has already paid duty, it's difficult. And that's a small mileage car. Once it goes beyond 15,000, no one wants it. So I ended up selling it for a very cheap price, which was way higher than what I did. But the lessons I learned from there was, your money is your money. Money is silent. Money is not loud. Hunting and making noise do not work together. If you're going to hunt, don't hunt. So what made me to then be able to have the financial intelligence was now asking these my mentors to say, so what should I do? What should I do? It was now from the money I sold the car that they then told me, now go and peg other claims. And after you peg other claims, you are left with money that can be able to buy you a drill rig. So I then bought 2 drill rigs, and then I pegged 9 claims, extra claims. And then I went back to the geologist. I told him, Mr. Geologist, I now have a drill rig. Let's drill our claims so that we can be able to justify the value. So there's a process that they call JOC certified. So if a mine is JOC certified, you can then now stock list it. So before I know it, I'm now benefiting from knowledge from seasoned people. Went and then did the exploration with my own drill rigs. After 2 months, my geologist came with the presentation. This mine has got this amount of gold until we get to 500 meters. This one has got this amount of gold. Then they bundled them to make them one asset. And then we stock listed. And then when we stock listed, I didn't know how stock listed is. That's why I was saying you need a banker. The banker then told us to say, we can then now start raising money. I said, where? He said, at the stock exchange. I said, what's that? He said, there are people who have got money somewhere. He was explaining to a novice. They've got money somewhere and they have got confidence in gold. So if they know that this asset works, they'll put in money that you can then now use to extract. After you extract, you level them. They are paid what are called dividend shares after 6 months. Some of them they take after a year. I said, so you mean we can raise money from this? He said, yes. I said, so what do we need? He said, we've already done this paperwork. So they helped me. London Stock Exchange, we raised a certain amount of money. After raising that certain amount of money, I then made sure I've got people who are knowledgeable in money management more than me. So I've got my expertise is discovering mines. Their expertise is managing assets and everything. And guess what I then did? I gave them revolving equity in my companies. Even all my companies. Anyone who I work with, who's seasoned and who knows what he's doing, even in construction, I have a guy called Rhino Smelter. I give him revolving equity. So what revolving equity does is I give you 20%, for example. You own 20% of the company as long as you're with the company. So if you grow the income of the company and then we are having $1 million, it means 200,000 is yours. If you grow it to 4 million, it means you get 20% of that. So that gives people a statement, a feeling of ownership, and they stay, they don't leave. That's my story. So guys, we now want to hear who the winner is. This trophy is beautiful, and I can't wait who's going to win there. But the one that is going to win will go with you to dinner today.
Thank you so very much. Guys, I think let's do much better. Honorable Shacky Timburwa has spoken from his heart, spoken from his mind, walked us through his journey, and a lot of where he comes from resonates. It's a story that resonates with many of you and many of us in this room. Thank you. So now we go to the other part, which is now knowing who the winner is. And Moses or Joseph, Mr. Joseph Ocheno will come and let us know. But also I'd like to acknowledge that in our midst we have other guests. Honorable George Stephen Odongo is a member of the East African Legislative Assembly. He's also here with us. George, if you could just wave and let them see you. Yeah, here he is. We also have with us Mr. Ronald Egesa. Thank you very much for joining us. So Joseph, without further ado, please come and let us know who is taking the trophy.
I know we have had a very long day, but I must say that as officially the third politician officially in the House, I am excessively, suitably impressed by Sarah's extended strategic network of friends. George Odongo is a member of parliament, and I am the only other official politician apart from the chief guest. I must thank Sarah and her team that Comrade Shacky, I thought that we knew how to do it, but you guys in Zim really do. I happen to be a member of the sister party to ZANU-PF. I have been to Zimbabwe several times. I defended the ZANU-PF government very hugely at very difficult times. I led a delegation to Zimbabwe from Europe and North America. In fact, I was one of the leaders, not the lead head of delegation, during the land redistribution crisis. But I also attempted to defend ZANU-PF during those days, and hence the mention about your educational achievements, the early part of ZANU-PF. And I was a delegate at ZANU-PF Congress of 2004, and I suddenly realized that's the year when you made your first million. So it's primarily for that I make the observation. But when I returned to Uganda from elsewhere more recently, and I became part of this process, Comrade Shacky, our concern, those of us who sort of have reasonably merely achieved, we thought we were very worried because we're struggling. And I think still we need to do a huge amount of work. At my first debate, I was very critical, and I think I was with Dr. Muhwezi, somewhere else. And we thought that this feedback actually works. And this feedback amazingly works. Yesterday, I was at part of the debate, and I wasn't sure that we had made massive progress. But Sarah and Co. and Judith assured me that the other teams did excellent jobs. I'm not critical of that particular group. Now, today, coming to the finals, my hope on this country, my hope of young people in this continent and in this country is massively total. Clap for these guys. An excellent team. They were critiquing Parliament. I don't know any of you guys who cannot be a net parliamentarian and above. And since Sarah is your star, particularly amongst the female members, somebody was whispering that a couple of you female participants, I'm not talking down the guys, are actually quality ministers equivalent. So well done. After the chief guest has spoken, I will not now go to some of the issues, but just quick headlines for the future. Understanding the question. That was a struggle yesterday. Understanding the question. Guys, I know we're concluding and I know we're tired, so I'll go through it. Understanding the question, it is not about this debate. It is because of the level of academia. And you guys, some of you guys are lawyers. You're going to be doing researches and you're doing your thesis. And if you fail to understand the question, we are wasting time. And this is a hugely expensive exercise. Understanding the question, appreciating the context, definition of terms, merely those, important. But this is for, not, today you guys have done generally well, you know, but for all of you guys. So this debate is not about who gets this. This debate is about the creation of new leaders in various sectors up to and including whichever direction you seek to take. And so therefore, the other thing is structure. Structure. Your team almost nearly struggled today at the finals. But most importantly, I think Peter has gone, who was facilitating. He was struggling with the question of time. You've been given, commonsensically, you've been given 3 minutes, and you're fumbling with the introduction. Now, if you're alone at a lecture theater, you'll be struggling. Like Comrade Shacky said, by the way, many of the people interviewing you are not interested. They're too busy looking at something else. They don't have the time. And part of the skills we're giving you is also not about work. Some of the things we give you is about networks. I ask questions. I think yesterday, people will talk to you, but they will talk to you for a reason. So they'll ask you a question, and then you waste his or her time. They walk away. So watch out. I like one quick thing. At some stage, you guys today were substantially collegiate. And sometimes we fail in politics. The politics of them versus us. But I could see that the other person is your opponent, but you're agreeing with them and you're sharing. That is massive. But as I said, because of time, I will be very, very brief. Be systematic. Cynthia, you're rather impressive in one or two things. There is this thing about style and your language of universities of the other corners. If you want to go up, down there, you better go to where he's directing you. This thing, right, wrong. Some of these accents, some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Kind of stuff. So pull away those things. And it's not about academia. It's not about debating. It's about whether or not you want to go ahead and fit in the new world. Depth of what you go through. That said, one of my colleagues was very particularly concerned about data and confidence, and I think Peter talked about that already. If you don't have the evidence, if you don't have the figures, don't go there. Just leave it. But if you raise it, you must make sure that it's authentic. And once in a while, even some of the Google stuff are neither here nor there. So watch out of that. There are many other ways in which you can deliver without necessarily trying to seek to fight figures. Finally, the final Obana chief guest was closed. Amazingly, and as you know, these things are very fair. We had some incident this morning, but very fair. To the extent that we marked and you come together and you see it. But anyway, the results of this are almost just like the other one. Can you imagine, and we're not going to here, between 80 and a certain number. Very, very close. You guys, and I've done some of these things, and I've been debating since P6. I've been debating since P6. I've written for the most global African magazine. I've been to all global media networks. So I know these things. But you guys were rather very difficult to pick who's the best. Clap for yourself, comrades. Do I list in order?
Do it the way you want.
Very, very hard. Very, very hard. Can you imagine when the worst performer, the least best performer attains, very difficult, 80%. So we're very generous. The least performer attains 80%. You're excellent team. Unfortunately, the next best is 81%. The next best is 83.5. And the close runner-up is 85. And then just closely next to that is 86 as the best. So you guys all passed, and you must know that if we had another session, any of you could be the best, and particularly after the fantastic feedback from your chief. So let's take this as a competition of ideas. And as I said, partly because of time, one of the things we're trying to do is to teach you guys how to agree to disagree. And so finally, forget about the results, get the experience, get the opportunity that you've had today. So Gulu University got 80% on the basis of our judgment. And we are very particularly serious that it was excellent stuff. Should I just do it fast now? All right. Then Uganda Christian University got 81%. Tough job for us. Tough job for us. We wanted to be supervised by a lecturer, senior lecturer, but of course he had interest, so he wasn't a participant. Kampala International University, 83.5. Hey. Whew. You guys have got an interest. Yesterday somebody was saying Makunika, and by the way, we used to call it either Makunika, Umuku, Makon. So it's now gone. So I'm a Makererian, so I've got issues. But look, and then Chambogo is part of the university for which I've got very massive interest. But Chambogo gets 85%. Okay, guys. The trophy. All right. Okay, guys. Officially, we've got a matter in court in which, the declaration was incomplete. The trophy goes to Makerere University.
Thank you very much, Joseph Ocheno, Moses Egunyu, our judges. Well, thank you to our judges, guys. They've done an awesome job. Joseph Ocheno, thank you very much. Mr. Moses Egunyu, you can just wave to the crowd once again. Thank you. Dr. Robert Ojambo, I know you did not judge the final round, but we do appreciate you for being a judge in the other sessions. Ms. Fatoumata Toure, thank you so very much. You've been exceptional. And now we go to the final part, which is the awarding ceremony. And I would now invite Dr. Sarah Birete, and who will be handing over first. I think we'll start with the trophy or the certificates. And the chief guest, yes. So the chief guest will come over here together with Dr. Sarah Birete. Let's start by the medals. In our second runner-up is Kampala International University, Mr. Ochero Ronald. Second runner-up, please come and receive your medal from them. Congratulations, Ronald. First runner-up, Chambogo University, Kaka Andy Angel. That's our first runner-up. Thank you very much. Well done, guys. Congratulations, Kaka. Thank you. And the gold medal, of course, goes to the winning team. Cynthia Apili Esther, Makerere University. Please come and receive your gold medal. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes. Well done. Yes, and also you don't walk away, Cynthia, because you also have to receive the medal, the trophy. So let's invite Makerere University as a team. Come and join Cynthia and receive your trophy. Makerere, the whole team, please come over. Thank you, guys. That's a job well done. Nancy, you coordinated. Simon, maybe you'll also go join them. Simon has done a good job also coordinating Makerere University. It's been quite a journey. Thank you very much. And everyone else receives a certificate, of course. All of you, you receive your certificates in no particular order, I think. Eloma Boni, Abraham, Boni, Uganda Christian University, please come. No, just get down and receive your certificate. Cynthia, I think your certificate is, just wait a little. Congratulations, Abraham. Well done. Apili Cynthia Esther, Makerere University, that's your certificate. Congratulations. Kaka, you get set to come and get your certificate as well. First wait. Okay, Kaka, here's your certificate. Ronald Ochero Frank, Kampala International University. Come receive your certificate. Well done, well done. Elisha Ogenroth, Gulu University. Thank you very much. Okay, just a minute. For the rest of you, we are told your certificates, we have about 100 certificates, so we don't want to really burden you, Honorable. So everyone who participated, you have a certificate waiting, and the team is over there. I think you can now take your seats, but I'm told the media, there's a media team waiting for the two of you for interviews. Okay, so our chief guest has requested that we have the certificates here per university, and he will just go take them table by table according to where the universities are. So you can just send us what you have, and he will deliver them. Thank you very much. You will also just wave your placard. Clark International University. Clark University, where are you? And then, sorry. Clark, Cavendish. Let's just follow them. No. He's bringing them for you. Yeah. He's bringing. Okay. Bugema. This is Cavendish. Kampala. Give me. Help me. Pick me the tables that are nearby. Moobs, where are you? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Mutesa Royal, pick the tables that are near. Mutesa Royal and Mountains of the Moon. We are not done. You guys give us Mutesa Royal. You made us so proud. Kampala University. Kampala University, you're here. Yes. Honorable? Sorry. Sorry. Kampala University? Kampala University. Over. Yes, here they are. Which ones? They're not also holding. Can I please know which university is here? I call the Western and which one and All Saints. Okay, they're still working on that one. George, please, George.
I've been reminded that you're giving
Let me invite you. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are closing. I know the excitement is really shooting through the roof, but I'll still request you to settle. We just have very few minutes to hear our closing speech from Honorable. Guys, can I please have your attention? Let's allow Honorable George Odongo from the East African Legislative Assembly. He represents Uganda there. Allow him a few moments to just speak to you and close. George, Honorable, you're most welcome.
Hello? Hello? What did the winner say? I heard her say something. Way. And Northcote, oh yeah. Ra. Mheshimiwa Shacky, our chief guest, the panelists, distinguished guests, I can see Professor Ndebesa there, and all the other distinguished guests. Congratulations, first of all, to the winners. And thank you so much, Center for Constitutional Governance, for, one, inviting me, but most importantly, for having this annual debate of the universities. Listen to me carefully, because I'm going to tell you something from my personal experience. And I thought I would say this when Shacky is here, because...
Can we please have some silence? Just very few minutes, please.
I know how much we have spent the whole day here, and the sugar levels are low. But everyone agrees that the time we have spent here is worth it. Listening to a very brilliant debate that went on here, but also the icing on the cake was really the guest of honors, I could say testimonies. You know, he spoke about his life, and I think it resonates so well with most of you here. And I'm sure that his story is going to touch so many of you in many different ways. You can see that you are not here by accident. All of you here are not here by accident. There are so many students outside there. There are so many people who are looking for an opportunity to be in this room right now. So you have to thank God that you are actually here at this time. Can you clap for yourselves? In 2017, I think around about June, July, I had the privilege to travel to Zimbabwe. And at the time, President Mugabe was still alive. And for as long as he was alive, he was president of Zimbabwe. Isn't that the case? So while I was in Zim, I was in the company of selected political leaders from our different political organizations. So we had Uganda People's Congress, we had Democratic Party, we had FDC, we had NRM. So we had engagement with both the opposition and the ruling party. And the ruling party then was ZANU PF, as it is now. So I had the rare privilege to interact.
Can we just have some silence and some order, please? The mamas are quite loud. Honorable, please proceed.
I had the rare privilege to interact with the leadership of Zimbabwe. That generation, the generation of Robert Mugabe at the time. And I have not, in a long time, been in a room that was intensely intellectual. For all, I tell you this, and I want you to listen carefully. For all the mistakes, for all the weaknesses of President Robert Mugabe, there was something about the Mugabe generation that all of us have got to learn from. That providing leadership, political leadership, was knowledge intensive. Was knowledge intensive, that you come into the political space and you bring value into it. You have got to be highly educated, you must have the experience so that you can make your contribution. I remember I was one of the youngest people in that room. And I remember it was the Secretary General of ZANU PF, Chombo, who then was the finance minister. When he looked at me, he said, "Who is that young man there?" He said, "Who is that young man there?" I remember in my delegation, I had the Honorable Salam Musumba. She stood up and said, "Please give him some respect. Don't refer to him as a young man." But it was just banter in the room. What I'm saying here is that you have got to bring value to whatever space you occupy. If you're a student, make sure that you concentrate and make sure that you have value. If you're going to be a politician, come with value. Today, there's a lot of jokes around political leadership. And they say politicians. The problem is not politicians. The problem is those who occupy the office at that time. So don't throw away politicians. Throw away those who are not providing political leadership. So I am happy with the Center for Constitutional Governance for really putting this up together, because this is the breeding ground. When I was in university, we used to have a lot of debates. But these debates were happening in the Freedom Square, Makerere Freedom Square. Or sometimes they would happen in the Arts Quadrangle. We had excellent people who would come to mentor us. The debates were very intense. They were very, very captivating. And we had people who would come over to those universities and speak to the students. The culture of debate is dying in the universities. The culture of debates in the universities is dying. And that's why you'll see that, because universities are the nursery beds for political leadership. They are the breeding grounds for people who are going to provide leadership. So if we kill debates in the universities, you have killed the future of the country, politically speaking. Because politics is a contact sport. It's about, and it's also about speaking. You must be able to articulate your viewpoints. So I feel very, very, very strongly, very proud about the work that the Center for Constitutional Governance is doing by bringing all of you here together and being able to debate and express yourselves. The other thing, of course, is that we must create space for this kind of engagement to take place, both inside in our boardrooms, but also outside. I am just from Tanzania, and let me be a little bit diplomatic. But the situation in Tanzania is because when you close avenues for free expression, when you close avenues for people to debate, for constructive engagement, especially for the younger generation that is buzzing with a lot of ideas, then they usually look for a way of expressing themselves. So it finds expressions in things that you see. Violent demonstrations. You will see a lot of Twitter demonstrations, social media demonstrations, because we have not provided the necessary platform. So I'm happy that we are having some of this platform, but it has to be more than just this. And all of you have got to be prepared for it. The future is only for those who prepare. So begin to prepare yourselves. And I'm happy that we are doing it in these spaces that CCG is creating. But also within your universities, you have very strong debating clubs. And debate as much as the issues that affect the ordinary citizens. Universities are places that shape policy. Please, move away from just social media banter and get into real action, real stuff that influences your lives. There are so many things that you as university students can do. I have not seen you university students coming up with the policy options and engaging. For example, when Parliament is sitting and they are up, considering bills, I want to see university students appearing before the parliamentary committee and saying, these are our views. Maybe Center for Constitutional Governance should begin to do something like that, so that when there is public hearing on bills that are coming before Parliament for consideration, the students should be given an opportunity to come and air their views, so that their input is captured in the laws. Because you are a very important segment in our society. So I want to thank you so much, and mine was just to congratulate all of you who have participated, and also in a very special way, the 5 finalists that were really excellent. I had the opportunity to listen to all of you. You stood out, and I can only say continue to improve every day. Life is a whole cycle, and every single day you must try to improve. Because you see, today you are here. There is somebody who wants to beat you, and is preparing. So next year, we want high-quality debate, even higher than this. I have been here. I have been.
Order, please.
I was a judge.
Silence, guys. Silence.
I was a judge in the 4th competition, and I can see that the quality has continued to improve. So in the next debates, I want to see even much, much higher. And be curious, so that you bring new knowledge, new dimensions. What makes debate interesting is when you have a disruptive mind. Do you get me? For you to be a very good debater, have a disruptive mind. Don't think the way others think all the time. Try to think differently, so that you bring different perspectives into the debate. Then you'll capture the attention of those who are there, and yet you're going to be able to deliver your point. But if you make it so obvious, everyone looks at you and thinks, yeah, what would he have said? What would she have said? So try to be creative in the way you are going to be doing your debates. That's when you will stand out. That's how debates are. And also you see it in Parliament, that those who capture the attention, who always win the debates, are those that first they have the knowledge. That's number one. Parliament, for you to influence Parliament, you must have sufficient knowledge. If you do not have knowledge, chances are that you will just be a voter, but you will not contribute to the discourse. That's the same thing with you who are in the politics. When you go out there, you need to think. You need every day to be curious, read, learn, you know, listen to TED Talks, you know, identify somebody whom you feel is your mentor and always engage with such a person. That's how you improve yourself. Everyone needs a mentor. Didn't you hear him saying here that he also has mentors in business and in politics? So thank you so much, CCG, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity once again to connect with these young people. Every time I speak to young people, I even become younger. There's a way in which they reboot my system. Yeah? Our systems need to be rebooted at every one point. Yeah? So that we shouldn't look at yourselves. But don't get obsessed with being youth. I am seeing this. I'm seeing people who want to make youth an obsession. Youth is a transient age. Today you are youth, tomorrow you are not youth, and somebody will be calling you out for it. So don't make youth an obsession. I have seen that to people whom, some of them I'm with them in Parliament. They are like 60 years and they say, you know, we young people. You young people. Eh? I know we are still continuing to grow, but listen. Have a time frame beyond which you say, I can no longer call myself a youth, I need to do something different. So that you avoid the thing, oh, you know, we in the generation, oh, you know, we youth, and so on and so on, that youth. And therefore, you have a timeline to make a contribution as a young person. Thereafter, you do things differently. You begin to do things differently. So use this as an opportunity to prepare yourself beyond just the youthful stage. You're a student, after that you are this. I was at Makerere University. I was in the Students' Guild. After that, I joined the National Youth Council. I was a member of UNSA. Then I went to the National Youth Council. I ran for Parliament. So I can't continue calling myself a youth even if I went through a youthful age. But that means that I am able to bring that experience into my stage of life now. And it prepares me to do that. So please, beyond just being a youth, know that you have a contribution to make. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you for such powerful closing remarks. Honorable George Stephen Odongo, thank you. We do appreciate you, and we would love to have you and all our judges next year. And to you all, thank you very much, all the universities. This now brings us to the end of Season 5 of the Inter-University Debate, the Hope Initiative Clubs, organized by the Center for Constitutional Governance. We wish you a pleasant evening, but we also still remind you, have you all received your certificates? If you haven't, please check at the desk as you're exiting and find out the status of your certificate. Thank you. I think we are now free to go. There's some tea, but before you go, just have yourself a cup of tea, grab a bite, and then